Hi, this video is going to walk you through the purpose of our ELA notebook. And so really when you think about this notebook, what I want you to think about is it's just a place to overall grow as both a reader and a writer. And so in this class this year, we're actually going to have our notebook located in two places. One of those places is going to be virtual, and I'm going to show you where you can grab that. And then one of those places is going to be physical, and it'll be located here in our room. And we'll explain a little bit more about that. But before we really dig into this, I want to talk about what the purpose of our ELA notebook is. So really when you think about ELA, again, remember that this is both writing and reading when we talk about ELA. So it's a place to experiment with all these different things. It's a place to plant seeds for future writing. It's a place to grow as both a reader and a writer. It's a place to learn and to practice new writing techniques. A place to study and mimic the writing of experts, and we're going to look at lots of mentor texts and things like that as we go through the year in order to do that. It's a place to experiment with new ways of expressing yourself through writing, and it's a place to analyze text, connect with that text, and explore the text in order to deepen your understanding as a reader. And so as we go through this, I really want you to know a couple of key things. First of all, anytime that we are working in our notebooks, whether it's the virtual notebook or the physical notebook, everyone is going to write or everyone is going to read depending on what the directions are. Notebook time is independent time. It's not time to be talking with anybody else. It's not time to be collaborating with anyone else. We will build in time like that for you, and I'll explain a little bit more about that as well. But if it is notebook time, everyone is doing exactly what it is that we have on the screen for directions. It's going to be important that you date every entry, and so when we come around, a lot of times we will be conferring with you as you are working in your notebooks. It's really important to date every entry so that we can keep track of your earlier writing, earlier annotations versus later ones. Every time you have a new entry, whether it's on a slide through your virtual notebook or a page in your actual physical notebook, a new entry is going to be on a new slide or a new page. We really want you to feel free to be creative. You're welcome to use colors, smaller purposeful, sketches and images. You can use bullet points if you think it's going to help you. But really we need you to stay focused on the purpose. And remember that that focus is on growing as a reader and a writer. So we don't want these notebooks to turn into glorified sketchbooks. We don't want them to turn into just a space where, we doodle or we drop, images of different sorts, or just, play around with tools that are available. We really want these to be purposeful spaces for you to work and then to grow. So when you think about your notebooks, I love this quote from Ralph Fletcher, who's one of the main creators of the idea of readers and writers notebooks. And so he says that he wants you to use your notebook to breathe in the world around you. And so when you think about it, your notebook, you're going to do lots of writing in your notebook, whether it's based on things that you're reading or ideas that you want to write about. But you can write about things that amaze or surprise or anger you. And you're going to have spaces to keep these lists. You can write about things that you wonder about, things that you notice in the world around you. You can write about seed ideas or triggers to generate stories or poems. You can make lists of small details that intrigue you, maybe about people or places or things that you love. You can grab snatches of talk that you overhear. You can store memories here. You can create lists of just about anything in the world. You can put photos or articles, ticket stubs, other artifacts, write about those types of things. Create your own sketches, drawings, or doodles, again, with a purpose, something that is specific to what you're going to be writing about, or pull quotes or inspiring passages from books or poems. And so that gives you a really broad idea of all the different things that we're going to be doing with your notebooks and things that you can put in your notebooks. So when we're working in class, we're really leaning on the workshop structure. And so this is says the writer's workshop structure, but really it's the readers and writers workshop structure. And so when you think about that structure, it's read, write, study, create, and share. And that's kind of the process. And those things can go in any order. And for any of those things other than that share one, we can actually be working inside of our notebooks. So whether it's free reading or reading things like from quick writes or mentor texts to writing, whether again that's free writing or writing that we've asked you to brainstorm on your own, we can study mentor texts, we can create new texts. All those things can be done inside your ELA notebooks. So what we're going to do first is we're going to make sure that you have your virtual ELA notebook, and you're going to make sure that you're hyperlinking that notebook on your Wildcat ELA profile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what this is going to look like. I want you to go into your Wildcat Workshop course. I want you to scroll down. You'll notice that we've got our announcements here at the top. You'll notice that this is where we have our workshop help request Google form. Your reading and writing portfolio should be right here. So if yours is not already open, you can go ahead and open that now. You should have it open and you should have already gone through and created it and set it up. So it should look something like this. What you're going to do is you're going to go into our Unit 1, Who Am I as a Reader and a Writer? And you are going to go into our Wildcat Workshop Unit 1 Digital Notebook. When that opens up, you're going to click on My Document, and then you're going to click Edit. And this is an extremely important step because you need for it to kick your document outside of Schoology. And so you want to make sure that that happens. Okay, so once that is open, what you're going to do is you are going to go and you're going to click that Share button. And I want you right now to go ahead and go and down here where it says restricted, only people added can get the link. I want you to go ahead and change that to anyone with the link can edit. I want you to copy that link. You're going to go over to your Wildcat Workshop portfolio. Click on where it says Unit 1 Digital Notebook. You're going to go up to where you can see this Insert Link button. You will paste in that link that you grabbed and click Apply. What this is going to do is as we go throughout all of our different units over the course of the year, you're going to have a quick list of all of those digital notebooks that you have created. So make sure that it is linked there. When you're done, you can go ahead and click Done. And then I will be going through and showcasing for you all the things that are a part of your notebook. So when you are working inside of your virtual notebook, you'll notice that there are 4 tabs. One of them is called Goal Setting, and we'll do a little bit more of that later, but it's just where you're going to create some 6-week goals for yourself to really focus your work. You'll notice that there's a Writing tab. Again, that's where we're going to do a lot of free writing or prompt writing. All of that will happen in that tab. There's a Passage Study tab where we'll do a lot of annotation and examining of texts. And then there's a Mini Lesson tab. In your notebook, in order to get to all of those tabs, all you have to do is click on the tab itself, and you'll notice that it prompts me, and as soon as I click on that, it'll take me directly to that tab. If I want to return, you'll notice that on that tab, I have a place where I can go back and I can return to cover. This is going to make it really easy for you as you're going through. Let's say I want to go to the Passage Study section, and I'm working all throughout here. It'll make it a lot easier for you to navigate in your notebook quickly. And really that's what we want. We want this to be a very smooth process for you. So those are all of your different tabs. You will always be told which activities go in which section. But if you ever don't know, or you just want to write something on your own time, you're always welcome to use that writing section. Finally, we're going to talk about really the difference between your virtual ELA notebook and your physical ELA notebook. Your virtual ELA notebook, which is what I just showcased for you, is really going to be where we keep a lot of our more formal work. Again, you can expect for teachers to be hopping in and out of your notebooks at any time. We can, just go in, give you feedback, and we'll work on that process a lot more in class. So your virtual notebook is where things are going to be a little bit more formal. We're going to expect them to be a little neater, a little more clean and crisp. When you think about your physical ELA notebook, that's something that's always going to be kept in class, and you'll have specific spaces for you to keep those, and we'll be coming around and we'll be talking to you about where you're going to keep your specific notebooks. You can expect that both your physical and your virtual notebook will probably be used daily, but definitely your physical notebook, you'll want to come in, and that needs to be a part of your process of entering the classroom, is always walking in, going to get your notebook, and then having a seat. And it'll be for more informal work, practice, brainstorming, things along those lines. And so what I want you to do now is in that composition notebook, or in your notebook, I want to make sure that you have your name on the front and then Wildcats. When it comes to your name, please make sure that it is your first and last name. And then I'm going to show you a little video of what I want your notebook to look like. Again, this is just an example, and what I want you to focus on is more about setup than the actual way I've designed mine. So on the front, you're going to want to make sure that, again, you have your name and Wildcats. On the spine, you're going to have your name and the two blocks where you have, that way you can see it, the two blocks where you have ELA and reading. So both your writing and reading classes should be there. Then when you open up the notebook, I want you to spend a little bit of time, and I want you to design that first page just in some way, shape, or form, something that makes it look like you. If you don't have time now, you can do that in Life Ed. Once you turn a couple of pages, that's where you're going to be in having your reading list that you should have already created. And so that's where those will be held. On the next page, you're going to create a section that are just things that you might want to write about at some time, and then you're going to title these pages Writing Lists. And so as you go through the whole year, really, we're going to add lots of different things to these writing list pages. You want to make sure to use your space well. You can section it out however you want, but you don't want to write so big that you're just taking up entire pages with things like that. After that, you're going to see things like your first quick write, which you would have done at the beginning of your first class. So you'll have a quick write that's in there, and anytime you're writing in your notebook, your physical notebook, you will put the date again on the page. You'll give it some kind of a title to let us know what's happening, and then you'll write on that page. And then when it's time for something new, you'll just flip the page, and just right there on the back is where you would write your next thing. So you probably have an endurance workout that's sitting there that you've completed as well. So that's everything for your ELA notebooks. Please use any remaining time to finish setting things up or designing your physical ELA notebook.